I'm Rick Keeler. Thanks for joining me. As inevitable as death is, given the way we avoid planning for it, we seem to believe that we will evade it if we just don't talk about it. 2/3 of Americans don't have a will or a health care advanced directive. Financial planners like myself often preach that everyone must have both. However, there are exceptions to most rules, as well as times that the best preparation in the world goes awry. Here are some scenarios where you may not need a will. First, you have no minor children and you don't own anything of value or that you want to bequeath to someone. Second, you do have assets, but all of them are transferable without a will. What we mean by that is this would include retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, annuities, assets like homes or bank account, maybe savings accounts, checking accounts that are owned jointly, and assets like brokerage accounts or real estate that will transfer on death. We call that TOD. To someone you name as a beneficiary. Now, if everything you own is in one of these, nothing will pass by the will. You technically would not need a will, especially if you have no children and no spouse. Well, I guess you can have a spouse if things are owned jointly. But I think it's really important that you don't have any minor kids. So what about a healthcare advance directive? I'll call that an HCAD. This is any document that gives instructions or appoints someone to give direction about your healthcare. Living wills and healthcare durable powers of attorney are two of the most popular HCADs. Many people think that you must use a state-provided form for a healthcare advance directive to be effective, but according to the Commission of Law and Aging, most states don't require a form, but they do require your healthcare advance directive to be properly signed and witnessed. It's best to have your directive drawn by an attorney, as most forms are just too general to include really the specifics, or they're far too generic, and the options that they have may not apply to your needs or wishes. Another myth is the notion that directives are legally binding on healthcare providers and their institutions. They are not. An advance directive just gives healthcare providers immunity if they follow your instructions. The healthcare providers can refuse to comply with your directive. This is especially true in an emergency situation where the attending EMS must attempt to resuscitate you and get you to a hospital. In some states, if you and your doctor have signed a special form and you wear a special identification bracelet, the attending EMS may choose not to resuscitate you. Also, just giving your directive to your doctor is no guarantee that the directive will show up in your medical records. You, or your proxy, must check with each institution you visit or are transferred to, and be sure it's on file. Some people fear that naming a healthcare agent means that you are going to give up your right to make healthcare decisions. That isn't true. A person always retains the right to make all their own healthcare decisions unless they become incompetent. Many people don't do directives because they think they must understand all the choices and be crystal clear about their wishes. And this isn't necessarily the case. If nothing else, a directive appoints a person that you trust to make decisions when you can't. And as with any legal document, you may always change your directive when you wish. If all your relatives who can legally make healthcare decisions for you agree, you may not need a healthcare directive to stop treatment near the end of life. Still, a living will can make the decision a lot less difficult for your relatives. It becomes very important in the event your closest relatives disagree on what's best for you. Like any good estate planning, the best strategy for both wills and healthcare advance directives is to focus on what you would like to have happen today, rather than anticipating events and circumstances into the future. Then, as well as communicating your wishes verbally, put your thoughts in writing and provide copies to your doctors and loved ones. Thanks for joining me.